If right now you're between the ages of 59 and 77, you are considered a baby boomer. And according to recent data, in the US alone, there's upwards of 80 million of you. And the Bank of America says that you have trillions of dollars to spend. Fun. If I was a betting man, I would say that a new kitchen is likely one of the things you'll spend your money on in this stage of life. If that's the case, then this video is for you. 10 ways that you can create a highly functional kitchen as a boomer. We're starting right now. Smart kitchen tech. This is not your average kitchen trend list. No, this is something completely different. Now, you might not want to watch your favorite YouTuber on your fridge. However, smart tech in the kitchen is not just for younger generations only. There's lots of options out there, and maybe some you absolutely don't need, but there are a few that I think you should consider. One being servo drive hardware. Basically, cabinet hardware that's attached to some kind of motor that's electrically operated. So with the touch of a button, your cabinets open and close with a built-in emergency override in case power goes out. Now, this isn't necessarily smart tech, but I do consider tech in the kitchen that can be utilized to make life easier. Touch and voice activated faucets are becoming more and more popular. Definitely easy to use, touch of an elbow or voice command, and your taps come on, your taps come off. As well as voice activated lighting, so that you can just speak to your kitchen and tell it to be brighter or dimmer, whatever it is you prefer. Corners are bad. Period. It doesn't matter what age you are, but getting down on your hands and knees to dig around in a corner cabinet is not fun. And yes, there's lots of different variations to make a corner more accessible. Even with those things, if something does fall in the back of that cabinet, which it likely will, the odds of you pulling off a Harry Houdini routine in order to get that thing is slim to none. And so in my opinion, I think corner cabinets should be completely avoided at all costs. This is either by blocking them off in, say, an L-shaped or U-shaped kitchen, or by just designing the kitchen to not have any corners. My philosophy in kitchen design is to use the most accessible space in the best way possible, and blocking off the corners one way that you can do that. For the some 80% of you who are not subscribed to my channel, it's important that you get this crucial idea of having no corner cabinets. And that was also a hint to subscribe. Pull down wall units. Now, this is a specific tip overall. However, in most of our kitchens, there is wall cabinet storage that is generally inaccessible. And a pull down wall unit allows you to reclaim some of that space and bring it back into circulation for easy use. There's even solutions out there for over your refrigerator, which is probably one of the most inaccessible cabinets that there is. But even for a standard wall cabinet, I highly recommend that you at least look into getting yourself a pull down wall unit. Especially if you have a smaller kitchen and you really need to use that vertical space for storage, these will really come in handy in making that space usable for you. Pantry storage / shallow storage. That's a tongue twister. We obviously need lots of storage and accessibility in a kitchen, and a wide pantry with pullouts built into your kitchen is perfect. A walk-in pantry is also great, but it does present other issues like making it as accessible as the kitchen, which is what we're trying to do right now in the first place. Shallow storage is generally underutilized in a kitchen, and it can be perfect for a pantry because everything is right there and very accessible. There's no need for pullouts, there's no need for reaching. Even on the lowest shelf, it's not that hard to access things because you're not digging in deep. So if you can find ways to incorporate pantry storage, whether a full built-in pantry, a walk-in pantry, shallow storage, some way, shape, or form, it'll only make your kitchen that much more functional and therefore usable. Lighting. Absolutely critical for any kitchen. Make sure you ask your kitchen designer to help you with recommendations for a lighting plan for your kitchen. My advice is that you cannot have enough lighting. Now, certainly you can have not enough, but generally speaking, having as much light as possible is going to be a good thing. Some of the more important lights to consider is having task lighting underneath your cabinets. This lights up the space on your countertop so that it's easy to see what you're doing. And if you've never had it before, I guarantee you it will be a game changer. There's other lights to consider as well in the kitchen. There's lots of ambient light options, but I also would suggest that you think about putting lights inside your cabinets, not only on the outside of your cabinets. These only turn on when you open a drawer or a cabinet door, illuminating what's inside the cabinet. There's lots of ambient lighting options that are out there. They make your kitchen look nice as well as being functional. Now, whether you want to put in sconces or track lighting or pendants hanging over an island or pot lights in your ceiling, the sky really is the limit. If you can have the biggest window possible or skylights, that's even better to bring as much natural light into the space as you can. I think lighting is one of those places where it's money well spent in your kitchen. Accessible design. You'll want to work with a designer who can help you incorporate accessibility into the kitchen right from the very start. This would generally be specific to your individual needs, but I'll give you some considerations that could apply to everyone. Cabinet handles should be easy to grip without a thumb, so that you can just put your fingers behind it and open the door. That's the best approach. There's lots of variety on the market, so finding something that suits your style shouldn't be a problem. Consider a section of your kitchen to have a raised or lowered countertop depending on your particular needs. This is especially helpful if you stand at the countertop for an extended period of time doing whatever it is you do in your kitchen, whether maybe it's baking or canning or you're doing crafts or you're just standing there sipping coffee with friends. This allows you to stand and work at a comfortable height so you're not shrugging or bending over and thereby just making the whole process that much worse. Consider building into your kitchen design a raised toe kick. Toe kick height is usually about 4 to 4.5 inches high. And I would suggest making it about 9 inches high. And this does a couple things for you. In the eventuality that you end up in a wheelchair or somebody in your home is in a wheelchair or ends up in a wheelchair, this gives proper accessibility for that wheelchair to maneuver without having to redo the entire kitchen. But it also does a couple other things. One, it makes the floor of the base cabinet that much higher and easy to access for pullouts, or if you don't have pullouts, to reach in. And it allows a really nice space for a step stool to be built in underneath the toe kick that can be slid out in various places around your kitchen. There's lots more, but make sure you talk to a designer to help you figure out what are the most important accessibility features you need built into your kitchen. Appliance considerations. Since kitchens are just fancy rooms that we keep appliances in so that we can use them, there are some general considerations I think you should think about. Save your squats for the gym. Get yourself a wall oven in that new kitchen. You'll thank yourself later on. Yes, you should be exercising. I'm not suggesting that you should never bend over or squat down. I am saying that in a kitchen, having a wall oven is much more convenient and usable for most people. Now, I know many of you love your microwaves, even if it's just to heat up a cup of tea. I get it. They're indispensable. So if they are indispensable to you and you absolutely need one in your new kitchen, make sure it's at countertop height. Whether that's on the countertop itself or built in, this is the most accessible use of a microwave. And you can also raise your dishwasher if you think that bending over is going to become an issue for you more and more in the future. It's something that you can do right now. It's not that big a deal. It can be done. It has to be done in a particular way to fit in with the design. It will make that dishwasher easier to access. Now, a very specific tip if you have a stand mixer is to get yourself an appliance lift, have that built into your kitchen. The mixer stays on there, it tucks away into the cabinet, it's already plugged in the back of that cabinet. So it's only a matter of opening that door, pulling up the stand mixer, it's usable right there. You don't have to fiddle around, it doesn't have to be stuck on your countertop, and it doesn't have to be stored anywhere. Design for modifications. Design your kitchen in such a way that you can modify it later on if the need arises. You can do this by using cabinet sizes that are standard, that you can easily replace for something else more suitable later on. For instance, you can get lots of inserts and add-ons for your kitchen at IKEA, even if you don't have IKEA cabinets, as long as you have the proper size cabinets that these inserts will fit into. IKEA has tons of solutions for 24-inch cabinets, and if you design your kitchen in such a way that there's specific places that have 24-inch cabinet spaces that you can later on buy other inserts and add-ons that you can easily install into these standard spaces, you're well on your way to having a kitchen that can be modified later on. If you don't have standard size cabinets, there's still lots of ways that you can incorporate inserts and add-ons to your kitchen. For base cabinets in particular, a lot of things that you can install mount to the bottom of that cabinet, and therefore it doesn't necessarily matter how wide the cabinet is. But having standard size cabinets does make it easier to buy things off the shelf that you don't have to fiddle around with a whole lot to make work. Low and easy maintenance materials. Who wants to be scrubbing away at their kitchen all the time? Not me. So maintenance-friendly materials is a must. Quartz countertop, deck tin, porcelain are all very easy to maintain materials for countertops that you should investigate. Consider easy to wipe down cabinet doors. Many companies make thermoplastics, polyester, and vinyl wrapped cabinet doors that are easy to clean, easy to maintain. If you want a backsplash on your wall, consider something that has no grout. So a fabricated one-piece backsplash, maybe that matches your countertop. Even laminate panels are becoming very popular again, and they're easy to install, easy to wipe down. You don't have grout lines there that you have to deal with. Budget friendly. Now, even though baby boomers have trillions of dollars apparently to spend, you may not want to spend it all on your kitchen. And the things that I suggested in this video are definitely going to add to that budget. So be careful. And while I think that all of the suggestions in this video are important, it is equally important that you work with a designer to map out exactly what your needs are and how your kitchen needs to function. And if you'd like to chat with me about your project, you can do so by going to my website. I have 1-hour consultations that are available. I'd love to chat with you about your upcoming kitchen renovation. Whatever generation you belong to, getting your countertop choice correct is very crucial. Check this video out to avoid 10 mistakes you definitely don't want to make when you're choosing your next countertop. We'll see you soon.